In life, regardless of how talented, skilled, or experienced we are, mistakes are inevitable. No matter how hard we try, we will encounter situations where we stumble, fall short, or fail to meet expectations, whether our own or those of others. These experiences often lead us to harsh self-judgment, and in some cases, profound self-hatred. This self-hatred can spiral out of control, sometimes even leading to extreme outcomes like depression or suicidal thoughts. It's crucial to realize that making mistakes is a natural part of being human. We are not machines designed to be flawless. We are individuals constantly growing, learning, and evolving. Unfortunately, we are often more inclined to express love and appreciation toward others than toward ourselves. We frequently tell people we love them, care for them, and appreciate their worth. But when was the last time we said, "I love myself"? Self-love is an undervalued practice in today's society, yet it is foundational for a healthy and fulfilling life. This script aims to explore how Buddhist philosophy can help guide us towards self-love and compassion. In Buddhist teachings, spreading love and kindness begins with the self. Without self-love, it is impossible to genuinely extend compassion toward others. In this exploration, we will discuss how self-hatred can be replaced with self-compassion by following a few essential practices that help us accept our flaws, love who we are, and continually strive for self-improvement. Do not believe in labels. We live in a world where labels are placed on us from the moment we are born. These labels could be as simple as our name or as complex as the societal roles we play. Your name is a label given by your parents, and over time, as people continue to refer to you by it, it becomes part of your identity. This example shows how something as arbitrary as a name becomes an integral part of who you are in the world. Similarly, as we grow, we begin to adopt other labels based on societal expectations, past experiences, or even our own self-criticism. For instance, people may label themselves as lazy, angry, or not smart enough because of past behaviors or mistakes. These labels start to feel like permanent traits, defining us and limiting our potential. We become the labels we impose on ourselves, internalizing them as truth rather than seeing them as temporary or changeable states of being. The more we accept these labels, the more they shape our personality and actions, creating self-imposed boundaries around what we think we can achieve or who we can become. However, labels are not permanent. They are merely thought patterns that have been repeated so often that they become ingrained in our subconscious. Just because you may have made a mistake in the past doesn't mean you are a failure forever. Similarly, just because you might struggle with anger in certain situations doesn't mean you are an angry person at your core. Human beings are inherently adaptable and capable of change, growth, and improvement. It is essential to reject the limitations imposed by negative labels and remember that they do not define us. With effort, awareness, and persistence, these labels can be changed, allowing us to evolve into better versions of ourselves. Learn to accept mistakes. Mistakes are often seen as failures, but in reality, they are the stepping stones to success and personal growth. Every great person in history, from renowned scientists to successful entrepreneurs, has made mistakes along their journey. The key difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is how they handle their mistakes. Successful individuals understand that mistakes are not a reflection of their worth, but rather an opportunity to learn and improve. When we make a mistake, the natural human response is to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even ashamed. These feelings can lead to negative self-talk, where we beat ourselves up for not being good enough or for failing. However, it's important to recognize that mistakes are not only inevitable, but they are also necessary for growth. Without mistakes, we would never learn what works and what doesn't, and we would never have the opportunity to refine our skills or improve ourselves. The real danger lies in allowing mistakes to define our character. It's easy to internalize failure, to think, "I messed up, so I must be a failure." This mindset is both limiting and damaging, as it stops us from moving forward and trying again. Instead of viewing mistakes as personal shortcomings, we should see them as valuable lessons that can guide us toward a better future. Every mistake is an opportunity to reflect, adjust, and grow. Moreover, when we learn to accept our mistakes, we become more resilient. We no longer fear failure because we understand that mistakes are a natural part of life, and they don't diminish our worth as individuals. Accepting mistakes allows us to keep moving forward without being weighed down by the fear of failure or the need to be perfect. In doing so, we give ourselves the freedom to evolve and continuously strive for self-improvement. Criticism is something that most of us engage in far too frequently, often without even realizing it. We criticize ourselves for not being perfect, for not living up to our own expectations, and for the mistakes we've made. We also criticize others for their shortcomings, projecting our own insecurities onto them. While constructive criticism can be useful for growth, negative criticism, whether directed at ourselves or others, can be incredibly harmful. When we criticize others, we create a mindset of superiority. Each time we point out someone else's flaws or shortcomings, we send a message to our subconscious that we are somehow better than them. This belief is dangerous because it creates unrealistic standards for ourselves. We set the bar too high, often based on arbitrary measures of perfection, and when we inevitably fail to meet these impossible expectations, we turn that criticism inward. The result is a cycle of self-hatred, where we continuously find fault in ourselves because we believe we should be better than we are. Negative self-criticism is particularly damaging to our sense of self-worth. Every time we criticize ourselves, we chip away at our self-love and self-compassion. It's important to stop this cycle and replace criticism with kindness and understanding. Instead of berating yourself for a mistake or a perceived shortcoming, treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer to a close friend. Self-compassion means recognizing that you are human, and as such, you are bound to make mistakes from time to time. By stopping self-criticism and practicing self-compassion, you can rebuild your self-worth and cultivate a healthier, more loving relationship with yourself. In a world that often glorifies perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we must be flawless to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. However, perfection is an illusion. Look at nature. There is no perfectly symmetrical flower, no flawless mountain, and no ideal tree. Everything in nature, from the smallest plant to the largest mountain, is imperfect. Yet these imperfections are what make nature beautiful and unique. As human beings, we are no different. We are all imperfect in our own ways, and these imperfections are not something to be ashamed of. They are what make us unique, valuable, and capable of growth. The pursuit of perfection is not only unrealistic, but it also hinders our ability to appreciate who we are and what we have to offer. When we accept our imperfections, we give ourselves permission to grow, to evolve, and to become better. We stop chasing an unattainable ideal and start focusing on becoming the best version of ourselves. Furthermore, accepting imperfection allows us to embrace the journey of self-improvement. Success and happiness are not destinations to be reached, but rather, they are ongoing processes. Every day we have the opportunity to learn something new, to improve in some small way, and to move closer to the person we want to become. This journey of self-improvement is made possible because of our imperfections. If we were already perfect, there would be no room for growth or change. To truly love ourselves, we must learn to embrace our imperfections. Instead of seeing them as flaws, we should see them as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Each imperfection is a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate towards ourselves. When we accept our imperfections, we can finally let go of the unrealistic pressure to be perfect and focus on loving ourselves for who we are. Self-love is not a luxury, it's a necessity for living a healthy, fulfilling life. The path to self-love begins with rejecting the harmful labels we place on ourselves, accepting our mistakes as part of our growth, stopping the cycle of negative criticism, and embracing our imperfections. When we practice self-compassion and kindness toward ourselves, we free ourselves from the burden of perfectionism and open the door to continuous growth and improvement. Every day, make it a point to remind yourself that you are worthy of love, just as you are. No matter what mistakes you make or how imperfect you may feel, you deserve compassion and kindness from yourself. This is not selfishness. It is the foundation for true self-love. By loving and accepting yourself, you give yourself the opportunity to evolve, grow, and live a life full of happiness and fulfillment. Keep practicing self-love and watch as your life transforms into something happier and healthier, one day at a time.